What scares me the most, I guess, is what it'll feel like.
There's really not a thing to be worried about. It's exactly like going to sleep at night, only it lasts a lot longer and it's much less stressful. The computer will show an elapsed time of 20 years when we wake up, but we'll have aged only a year physically, and you won't have felt a thing.
I'm sure you're right, but are you absolutely positive? I mean, at the space lab, they kept telling us about all that stuff, but I would not be happy if I woke up a wrinkled old bag.
I'm the careful type. There might be aliens, kid.
There might be, mate, but since our number crunchers indicate planet LA-003 was created about 4.5 billion years back and is currently going through a sort of Cambrian-era geological state, I somewhat doubt you'll find anything bigger than a flea.
Guess I'll have to shoot low. What the heck is that for?
Our Mr. Headquarters doesn't know the corporation flag?
Listen, funny boy, I'm perfectly aware it's the corporate flag. I'm asking you what you brought it on board for.
Leave the kid alone, Morgan. What do you care?
We gotta have a flag to raise on our property.
Ha! Look, bud.
Jimmy!
Right, hey, go for the promotion. Whatever twists your tits.
Huh?
What I'm interested in is the money, special mission pay.
Risk bonuses?
Now you're singing my song. Can't beat that with a stick, right, Harris? When we come back home after 40 years, we'll be able to retire and still be young enough to do some damage.
Don't worry, I'll make sure the contract's honored. Just don't forget who's keeping an eye on your efficiency reports for the board of directors, guys.
Well, I was wondering what the president's daughter was doing on this bucket of bolts. Don't despise her. She's very sweet for a barracuda, but don't touch her pussycat.
I haven't had the pleasure of working with the gents from the Japanese sector. See, I'm from the Australian office. The name's Berry, Dick Berry. This your first interstellar run? Boy, the company sure knows how to pick 'em.
Sometimes I wish we could just take off without them. The noise they're making, you'd think this was a picnic. Can you believe the stuff they brought aboard? Weapons, animals.
Hey, lighten up a little. We all like to bring something on board, a keepsake, a good luck piece. I've got a lucky charm I've brought on every voyage I've made.
Come on, that's hogwash, Captain.
Yeah, well, I can't exactly make too much fuss about anybody else now, right?
It's too bad they never taught us at the space training camp some way of not putting our foot in our mouth. I just put mine in up to the hip.
Forget it, but now that you mention it, there's something we're going to have to be dealing with sometime soon, and that's the quality of the engineers the camp's turning out. With every multinational looking to stake a claim, there's a real shortage of qualified personnel. The captain of the Baikal was telling me they have the same problem.
I have to admit, I was wondering why we always seem to end up working with a gang of incompetent amateurs that act like they escaped from a fraternity party.
Just keep your blood pressure down, because they're the employees of the mother company, and we're here to assist them on their mission. Don't get bent out of shape. We're interplanetary taxi drivers, and everybody else is just along for the ride. And speaking of which, I think this one's it for me.
You're not thinking of retiring, are you?
Yep. As a famous comic book character once said, I'm getting too old for this kind of shit.
Morning, Guy.
Hey, another day, another decade.
As briefly as possible, Watt. How are they?
Well, they're all a little wobbly on their pins, but nothing out of the ordinary for amateurs.
I think it's better if we push the start time back a little for the exploratory party and send some probes down to pick up surface information.
Sir, I got something.
Yeah, what's up?
Looks like over 20 years ago, we picked up a priority transmission.
What level was it?
Emergency level, sir. It came in 3.5 months after leaving Earth orbit.
All right, put it through. Let's get it over with.
I am Syncam Corporation's Personnel Manager, Interplanetary Division. I have a message of the utmost importance for Mr. Mike Hamilton, Commanding Officer of the starship Seldes. I am switching to priority scramble now.
Put him through. It'd be impossible to keep anything secret on a ship this small.
Captain Hamilton, I'm afraid I have some rather unpleasant news to report. It appears that you have 2 people aboard who are not who they claim to be, nor are they employees of Syncam. Evidently, they managed to enter the training program at the center with false identification, and then joined the crew on your ship. We've investigated this, of course. I have their names and photos, which I'll put up at end of transmission, but Captain, I must emphasize the grave attains immediately.
The rest has been erased, Captain.
How are we supposed to identify these bums if we haven't even got a picture of them?
I just don't see how a bunch of people who work for the same company wouldn't be able to recognize an imposter. You'd think they'd pick up on who the fakes were right away.
That'd be impossible, sir.
Impossible?
Syncam Corporation's a multinational conglomerate with affiliates all over the world, Captain, so when they put a crew together, those people could come from Japan, Italy, France, Australia. It'd be impossible for them to know each other.
So the first time any of them ever met each other would be at the Space Training Center. No reason for anybody to think anything was weird about them.
Right, and having cleared personnel checkpoints, the ID card would be their only identification.
They were certainly well prepared in advance.
To leave the capsules early and erase the message, they'd have to be a systems expert.
You mean they came out of deep sleep, checked the message, and got back to the capsules before we woke up?
Yes.
And of course they erased all the good parts, but what I don't get is why they didn't wipe the whole thing.
Well, if they monkeyed the timers on their own hibernators, I suppose they could figure a way to screw up that transmission. But maybe there was some sort of time limit they were under to do the job.
I can't imagine what it'd be.
We can't let them run around free on the ship.
Nobody's crazy enough to go on a 40-year round trip to some rock in the middle of nowhere just to play Robinson Crusoe.
Time jumpers. We're dealing with a couple of criminals, sir. That's it.
He's probably right, Captain. Once in a while, these guys fake their way onto a starship so they can spend 40 or 50 years hibernating in space without getting much older. When they get back to Earth, no one's around anymore to remember their crime.
They wouldn't have a snowball's chance in hell of pulling it off if we didn't have the deep sleep capsules, but this way they can start from scratch, commit new crimes. It's a pretty slick way of beating the system.
Some time jumpers, just great.
We gotta do it.
We have to do what?
We need to find who the jumpers are and put them in custody.
You've got to be kidding. On a ship this size, we're all prisoners. Just let them be. It's not that serious. Besides, there's not much we can do about it anyhow. Here they come now.
Aha! Hello there, Captain! Or perhaps I should say good morning. At any rate, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Harris Meade, and I've been assigned as ship's doctor.
Dr. Meade, welcome. I'm glad to see you're feeling all right. Since none of you appear to be the worse for wear after your sleep, let me explain our present situation. We're orbiting LA-00-3 after an elapsed Earth time of 20 years, 1 month, and 10 days. We're at quota 34,000, and our speed is 17,000 kilometers. You'll build a temporary command base to investigate resources available for possible utilization by the corporation and to facilitate...
Captain, the temperature in number 4 block is dropping rapidly.
All right, Carolyn, put it on the screen. Hold it. Go back. Damn it! An AC duct's been damaged and frozen air is spilling into the block. Dular, take a couple of them and repair it. Come on. What's your name?
My last name's Takagi. Tokyo affiliate.
And how about you, big guy? What's yours?
Morgan W. Scott. And I'm from the Home Office, Captain.
That's fine. I want you boys to help Dular in taking care of that busted AC duct. Oh, and you can leave your weapon with me. It won't be necessary.
I don't know, Captain. I feel strange without it.
No worries, Mike. Give it to me.
There, you see? I told told you they wouldn't match up.
Okay, but since the spectacular readings were the same, it really doesn't make much difference.
How can you say that? You never even looked at the gas chromatograph for a comparison.
Oh, what?
Captain?
I'm sorry.
Something's odd, but...
What's on your mind?
Well, I was going through some of the old backup data, and this is going to sound strange, but the remote manipulator toward that duct.
The remote manipulator. You sure about it?
I still haven't figured out how they managed to get in, but I do know one thing. While we were asleep, somebody reprogrammed it.
Huh?
That's great. So then what happened?
Nothing happened, that's it.
What?
Wonder which one's
You know how to kill a joke.
You think Watt's idea holds water?
I don't know.
We'll never know their plans, only if one of them talks.
I'm sure we could find a way to make these thugs open up. Right, guy?
Listen, man, we're not the damn military. This mission's starting to bug me already.
You know, we could interview them all and then run their stories through the computer for discrepancies in their personal history.
Nobody'd ever go for it. And besides, it'd violate their rights to privacy. I'd prefer it if everybody just left it alone and took care of ship's business instead of playing private eye.
See ya.
Hey, Captain, when are we gonna get to work? Things are getting boring.
We can't do much of anything before we analyze the probe's information. You'll have plenty to do after that.
I hope so, because I don't want to be cooped up in this tin can for too long. I'll go bananas.
You want to put some money on that?
It's obvious nobody's been around this part of the ship in years. A couple of hundred of them.
Well, it ought to be done by now. Carolyn, you put together the probe data. You two take the transport ship. Give it a complete diagnostic.
Okay, maybe you're right. Suppose Morgan is one of the two jumpers. Who do you think is the other one?
I'm almost positive it's that Jimmy dork.
Oh, yeah. Nah, it's probably that Hong Kong woman. What's her name?
Dorothy? No way.
How do you know?
'Cause she's my kind of woman.
Now there's a hell of a reason.
Captain, if I didn't know better, I'd swear he's suffocated from Legionnaire's disease. His lungs are full of bacteria.
Bacteria? How can that be if the ship was sterilized?
I never said that the bacteria were from Earth. Take a look inside his lungs. Fascinating. I've never seen anything move like that. I'll be able to come up with more information once I've run a few tests. Of course, I'll have to admit I'm a little surprised I've been given my own job to do so soon.
What? Guy, stem to stern check of the transport ship. I want all the rest of you to check the main ship in 2 groups.
Tell us what's going on.
I'm not completely positive, but something was brought into this ship. And some kind of deadly bacteria were brought in with it. Half of you go over number 4 block, and the others check the gangway where Morgan was found.
Victim number 1 and 12 to go.
Told you I had a bad...
Not a thing, Captain. Thanks.
How the hell could anything get into the ship? Hmm? Just what do you think you're doing, Mr. Barry?
I told him not to touch it.
Oh, don't blame her, Captain. She did what she was supposed to. I was only wondering if there were any messages from my family, but what do you know? Look what I found instead.
I am SynCam Corporation's Personnel Manager, Interplanetary Division. I have a message of the utmost importance from Mr. Mike Hamilton, Commanding Officer of the starship Seldes. I am switching...
He claims that there are 2 people on board with false identification. And the most important part of the message, the part with the names on it, was erased. You wouldn't happen to have any explanation for that, would you?
As a matter of fact, I don't have any explanation, but if we don't destroy what was brought aboard this ship, it's not going to make much difference anyway.
Come on now, Captain. We've both got bigger fish to fry, so to waste time...
Captain, come to sickbay. Dr. Mead is dead.
Same as Morgan, sir.
Wonder where he picked up the infection. From Morgan or somewhere else. Damn it!
Nationality?
Hong Kong.
Date of birth? Come on, Dorothy. I'm not thrilled with this either. But since all of you agreed, we have to go through with it. Date of birth, please.
I was born on May 10th, 2241.
You're 23.
Education?
I graduated from Washington University.
And had a baby while you were at it. Now that's the kind of higher education that really builds your brain muscle, eh?
Harry, shut up. Now let's continue.
Prying son of a bitch! We all have something we don't want to tell anybody. We want to keep our lives secret. But if I knew what yours was, I wouldn't laugh about that.
It's a fairly pretty speech. I think for the good of the corporation, your turn's up.
Carolyn, any word on the transport ship status? We'll be at our first landing point in under an hour.
But sir, Guy and Watt haven't reported in yet.
They what?
Nationality?
Give me a look inside the hangar. What? Guy, come in. What's the transport ship status?
Just a second, Captain. Let me zoom in on it.
I'm afraid we're going to have to give up our first landing position.
Any idea how long it'll be before we reach the second point?
Good.
Lily? Lily? Could you give me a hand?
My pleasure.
I'll help you to realize we're not in a bleeding picnic here. You come straight back after you found her, and next time put a string on so you stop losing her. Do you hear what I'm saying? Otherwise, I'll put one round her neck.
I don't believe it. He is so mean.
I wonder why none of them seem to have anything better to do than to look into other people's private secrets.
Well, company loyalty is very important. It has to be ensured somehow. Lily!
If she were alive, she'd be around your age now.
Huh?
Nothing. I'll look around this way.
Lily! Lily? Lily?
Jimmy Mangle, you've got a drug conviction here.
Huh? But I never touched that stuff in my life, Dick!
Well, the company records show you were placed on probation for some kind of drug bust when you were in high school. What have you got to say?
Wait a minute. They've got it all wrong. I can remember perfectly what happened. It wasn't me, it was one of the guys in my class with me, Jimmy Hangle. I can't believe they still have it on the records like that. Jimmy Hangle was arrested for drugs in high school, not me. They were always mixing up the two of us, calling me Hangle and him Mangle. It was terrible!
Do you expect us to believe an excuse like that, Jimmy?
Even the police can make a mistake in putting data. Why should I be the one to suffer for something that I never had anything to do with?
Well, that was all we were able to find in your entire record. None of it has any bearing on what we're looking for anyway. What happened to that Japanese fella?
Captain Hamilton!
Well, well, speak of the devil, here he comes now.
Yes, what is it?
Come to sickbay right now, sir. All the bodies have vanished.
Damnedest thing I've ever seen. Disappearing into thin air like that, leaving only their clothes behind them.
And just why were you in sick bay?
I was here looking for the cat.
Oh, I'm sure it's only me who thinks it's funny you happened to come here looking for a cat you knew you wouldn't find.
What can we do, sir?
Since we've got absolutely nothing on this bacteria, what can we do? We'll lock this block off for possible infection and retreat to the main bridge. Come on, everybody, move it!
Think we've escaped the buggers, Captain?
I hope so.
We're coming up awfully fast on our second landing point, sir.
Oh, yeah. We still have our jobs to do. The transport ship, why don't you cover that with Dular? And the hangar bays will both need to be decontaminated.
You ready
Plus,
to go?
we have to
Let's
select
go.
6 members for the exploratory probe. Since Walt and Dular are going to be 2 of them, you better choose the other 4 from among yourselves.
We've plenty of time to do that in yet. We still have our little game of checking the backgrounds of the people from C.A.T, and that means Nancy and the fella from the Japan office.
How dare you even think of suspecting me?
Morgan from headquarters knew who you were, but I'm from the Australian branch, and I only met you for the very first time here.
Believe it. Wait till my dad hears about this.
Hey, I hope you find your criminals.
Don't worry, I will. You little smartass, I'll find him.
Well, painful as you thought it would be?
Way worse. You cannot believe how mean he is.
What if the company had been given rotten information, and that guy's message was nothing but a lousy fake? They wouldn't try to drive us crazy for no reason, would they?
You don't think...
Hey, anybody seen Dorothy?
She hasn't been on the bridge. I thought she was with you 2.
No.
Huh?
She might be. She could be in sickbay.
Sickbay? Now, what would she be doing there, mate, if I may ask, and how would you know about it?
Well, Mr. Barry, perhaps you should ask her that yourself. Or better yet, why don't the both of us go see what she's doing?
Listen, mate. You be
Captain,
real
look.
careful how you...
What is it? Why in the hell is the hangar deck opening? Carolyn, what?
My commands are being overridden by the motherboard, Captain. I have nothing to do with it. Sir, my control board's been cut off.
What?
We can no longer control the ship from the bridge.
Dular, Walt, get your asses out of there. Do you hear me? This is a full-on emergency. I want you to get off of the hangar deck immediately. It's been deactivated. It won't unlock. Who's in there? Who hasn't been accounted for, other than the first 4 casualties and the rest of us here?
Well, a gal from Hong Kong, what's her name? She hasn't been seen around for a while. I bet big money it's probably her in there.
I'm telling you, she's not in there.
What makes you so almighty sure of yourself? You know an awful lot about the doings of other people. Perhaps you can explain it to me.
Yeah, if I can. There's no other way. Captain Hamilton, come with me, please, sir.
Disappeared like the rest of them. What's happening here?
She was checking the pathology of her lungs with the X-ray scanner by herself.
How'd you figure that out?
It wasn't tough. Because someone had done the same thing in here.
You mean besides you, eh? Come off it, hero. That business about looking for the cat and finding the bodies was a bunch of crap.
What do you have to say about that?
Yes, I was using the X-ray scanner. I was afraid that the bacteria had already invaded our bodies, and that was the only way I had to make sure. I remembered something Dr. Mead had said when he was examining Morgan. He thought something about it was very familiar. It reminded him of Legionnaire's disease or a strain similar to that one. He told me the last outbreak was years ago. Some veterans were at a convention. 12 hours later, they began dropping like flies for no reason. Their lungs were filled with bacteria which caused them all to suffocate.
Could it be the same thing that infected Morgan?
I can't be sure. But the disease that killed those veterans was caused by the hotel's air conditioners. That's what started me thinking. The bacteria were piped directly into every room through the AC ducts.
And then?
Well, we know there was a damaged duct in the number 4 section, okay? How do we know something couldn't have come through that hole and into the ship?
Oh my God.
And suppose that something were some kind of alien bacteria. If it were strong enough, it could have passed untouched through the water separation tanks and filters. And then, it'd be a cinch for it to penetrate inside
into the entire ventilation matrix where it could infiltrate the ship's air supply.
I think depending on the physical environment, it won't survive everywhere on board the Saldes. And I think that's why Dorothy came here.
I don't want to hear this.
Yeah, but what happened to all of them? Did the bacteria eat them?
I don't think we'll ever know that. There are bacteria that'll metabolize on Earth in a short period of time, but no terrestrial aerobic bacteria that I'm aware of can completely dissolve a set of human bones without a trace.
Very intriguing. Medical man, eh?
It's a hobby.
Now that's funny. Something just doesn't seem right. Maybe it's because company data have Mr. Hiro Takaji specialized in space engineering and not medicine. I guess they must have gotten things all backwards.
Yeah, now I think I got it. I don't know why I didn't pick it up. You're not an employee of the corporation either now, are you? You're a detective.
Huh?
All I ever said was that medicine was a hobby. I don't remember saying that I specialized in it. What do you have up your sleeve?
The game's done, kid. You shouldn't have said either.
Very good, Mr. Detective. Your patience has been rewarded. You found the mad gunman who murdered those 3 men on King Street. I figured I was safe hiding on a starship for 40 years. I never thought you'd be willing to tell me quite this far.
Thanks for the confession. I appreciate it. When everything goes well in those rare moments, it's nice to see your efforts rewarded.
Just a minute. You can't arrest him here.
Normally, you'd have a point there. I usually leave everything up to the captain of the ship, since whatever happens during the run is under his command. I don't much care to get involved with the stuff that doesn't concern me directly. But our jobs here are different, Captain. Yours is to bring the ship home. However, my responsibility is to bring this here bad guy home.
I assume that message then from the personnel manager was your trick?
I'm afraid it was at that. The company was very cooperative. When I was first given this file, the only bit of information I had was the murderer was a medical student who'd escaped to the moon on a false SynCam ID card. That message was my one last hope.
If this were any kind of a normal situation, I'd have nothing at all to say about how the affair was handled. But take a word of advice. If I were you, I'd certainly have my lungs checked for any trace of bacteria.
Come on, Captain. Being a detective, I've run up against trouble a hell of a lot worse than some outer space chicken pox. I'm talking about your armed gangs with submachine guns and high-tech explosives and pissed off to boot. Now, you just may be right. My body could be riddled with this stuff, so perhaps I'll snuff out like Morgan. But as of this moment, I'm still alive. And so is this murdering bastard. And as long as I'm alive, it's my responsibility to get him back to Earth for trial. He's the criminal, and I have to arrest him.
You're far too young.
What do you mean I'm too young? I've got to be the same age as you, Captain.
You think so? How old am I then? How about her? I just passed 240. Carolyn's 150 years old, right?
I'm 151.
Watt, Guy, Walt, Dular, they were all of them anywhere between 150 and 200 years old, if you go by Earth time computation. Space navigation isn't really everything it's cracked up to be. Thanks to the ship's cryo-hibernation system, our bodies don't get much older with every trip. Well, at least not physically, that is. The trouble starts when we return from a voyage in space. Everyone's thrilled to be home until they realize that 40, 50, or 60 years have elapsed back where they came from. You become... I was so excited by my first voyage. I got back to Earth and met my son, who I'd left as a baby. He'd grown into a man older than I was. But not even that could kill the fascination for me. No, that died after the second trip. There was no more reason to come home. All my family and friends were long dead. But even more than that, I can't catch up with the new age, new science, new theories, a flood of new information. People treated me like a living fossil, and I realized I'm an anachronism, not quite useless, but annoying to have around. So I escaped back into space and returned to a different new age. I've done it many times. It doesn't really matter what I tell you, after all. You can go ahead and bring him back for his trial, but you'll find out. You'll experience it for yourself. There'll be nobody left to welcome you, except the computer keeping records of a crime committed 40 years ago.
Dorothy?
What is it?
Don't shoot it!
Because we've got gravity generators doesn't mean you can blast away anytime you feel like it.
What the bloody hell was that?
You're telling me that thing got into the ship along with the bacteria?
Could be. Anyway, whoever or whatever has locked us out of the control room knows a lot more about it than we do. Carolyn? Jimmy, you come along with me too. Hero, since you know some medicine, take care of Dick, all right? Take off his handcuffs and be very happy you're already in sick bay. I'll have to cut the door. Wait for me here. I'm going to rig a torch in the engine room.
I know some welding. Let me help you. Probably too late to regret this, but, I shouldn't have volunteered for this mission. I must have been crazy or something. If I were on Earth right now, I'd probably be happy, married, and teaching elementary school. Yeah, I was never fairly evaluated by the company, and I never got any of the promotions I put in for. I did my best, but I wasn't getting anywhere, you know?
I've met a few others who felt the same.
Then the Home Office announced this mission. They tried to recruit crew members, but nobody was buying it. Some people just have better instincts about this stuff. The pay they were offering was terrific, but it made you really think. How much money would make it worth it to leave your family and friends for so long?
Well, why'd you apply if it wasn't what you wanted?
My manager recommended me for the very first time. Maybe he thought I was the best man for the job because I was spending a lot of lonely weekends. You know, putting in extra hours at work. Well, then I kind of had this crazy dream, you know? I kept thinking, wouldn't it be great if I surprised everybody in the company and volunteered? Now that'd make my stock go up with the office manager. It was an adventure. Of course, given the choice between that and the situation we're in now, I think I would have chosen to remain back on Earth and be despised. What do you think?
Well, I can understand what you went through pretty well. Every space sailor I've ever met had some kind of bad experience in their past. They try to wipe out every memory of it during a 40-year stint. They usually don't manage it. Yep, I've known an awful lot of people like you. There.
I'm sorry, Hero. I guess I must have lost the key to the cuffs when I blasted that bugger. I apologize.
It doesn't matter. I managed okay. What's important is that the bandage holds. Thank you, Nancy.
Do you mind,
Go ahead.
I can't believe, I just can't believe what he was saying about you. You couldn't murder anyone.
Appearances can be very misleading. But it's true, I killed 3 people in broad daylight.
What reason could you possibly have had?
They made my sister into a drug addict.
But how?
She was so beautiful. She used to write me all the time. She'd left home and enrolled overseas in a big university. Then she just disappeared. I inquired everywhere. No one had any information. When I went to talk to her roommate, she told me she didn't know anything. So, when I found her about 1 year after that, she wasn't anything like she had been. I barely recognized her when I saw her again. And you know where that was, Nancy? Prostituting for a King Street pimp.
That's terrible. Is she all right?
She's dead. My brain just clicked off, and I avenged the death of my sister on the men responsible.
It's true that drugs have completely contaminated the Earth and the Moon, but you had no right to kill them. We were on their tracks for months, and if we'd only been able to arrest them, we could have split their drug ring, closed down their prostitution operation, and that'd have been the end of them. You bollocksed up everything, mate, and cost me my promotion.
Damn their operation. My job was to avenge the death of my sister.
I'll buy that, mate. Maybe you can understand how I felt. You cost me 2.5 years of backbreaking investigative work, and I'm not likely to forgive you for that in the foreseeable future.
How were you able to get on board as a member of the expedition if you didn't have an identification card?
I have a close friend who works for the Japanese branch, and he suggested I escape with this expedition. His name's Hirotakaji. He was in love with my sister, and he had planned to marry her.
What happened to Carolyn?
We have to find her.
Carolyn, are you there? Oh my God, it's amazing.
What's a diagram of the bacterial invasion doing? Lily Cat? This block is completely infested. Get up to the main bridge now.
Yeah, but Jimmy and Carolyn, what happened?
Forget it. I'm afraid they're missing or dead. Come on, now!
It's metabolized even the bulkhead.
I can't put up with it anymore. I can't. I'm gonna go crazy.
Does C.A.T Corporation have a science and technology development division?
Of course they do. Every company has them. What's it have to do with what's happening on board this ship?
Well, it could have something to do with registration number 23703 Lily Cat.
Huh?
It's a robotic cat, unbelievably advanced. A perfect replica of the cat you brought on board.
A cat? What for?
That robot's controlled the ship ever since we left Earth's orbit. The engineers that maintain this tub for SynCam obviously believe we're obsolete and out of date. They don't particularly think humans can handle the job. I suppose they feel we can't be trusted because all we've got is old-fashioned experience and no scientific know-how, so they gave control of the ship to that thing. And Lily Cat's too faithful and reliable an employee to have let a bacteria onto the ship to wipe out the crew.
It's crazy!
The reversal syndrome.
Reversal syndrome?
It's a function of some very rare bacteria where they reverse the mitosis of the nuclei and accelerate the growth process of normally dormant cells in a short period of time. What's weird is the absorption of the human tissue into the alien cell makeup. It's as though the bacteria have used the human bodies to metamorphose from a caterpillar into a butterfly.
If what you're saying is what happened, that those monsters are the recycled bodies of Dorothy, Carolyn, Morgan, and the rest, then what's to stop it from changing again into something even more horrible?
Yeah, but why metabolize everything but our clothing? Huh?
I've never met anyone so mean!
Come to think of it, I'd have done the same thing. He followed his principles through, even though he already knew the bacteria had infected him. He came on board this ship with one objective, and that was to put handcuffs on an escaping murderer. And once he accomplished that objective, he never even thought about looking back again. I'll say one thing for him. You have to respect him.
ship's reacting to the infected blocks and doing the same thing it did with the hangar pod. It's protecting itself by cutting them loose and blowing them up away from us.
Well, what if the computer decides it's gonna dump this block?
I'm not going to worry just yet about that. This block isn't the same as the cargo compartments that were jettisoned, even though the other ones are contaminated.
Let's not forget it's a machine, folks. Desperately trying to save itself, even though it knows it's going to be eaten by the bacteria after all.
What are you doing?
We have nowhere to run. We can wait in this block, but that means we'll die of starvation or become another monster like the rest of them, which doesn't tickle my fancy at this moment in time. So for me, the only answer is for us to kill ourselves. Okay? How about you? What's it gonna be? The chamber's got 3 shells ready and waiting for us.
I can't believe it! Why did I ever get on this stupid ship? I was only trying to have a little fun. I have this friend who's so smart and really cute. It's all her fault. I hate her. And she stole my boyfriend. I wanted to get back at her, get revenge. I know exactly how she's gonna feel when I come back to Earth almost as young as when I left. And she's an ugly old bag. I never thought it would end like this. I never thought.
At least I can see my sister again.
Wait! Stop!
There's nothing more to say about it, Captain.
The bacteria won't eat everything. Even if we wind up dead, the ship will make it back in one piece.
What do you mean? The bacteria will destroy everything on the ship.
And I am positive it won't. On the motherboard, I saw a readout of the corrosion on board, and the cargo blocks and storage compartments were almost completely devastated. But bridge, sub-commands, and engine room were absolutely free of it. Residual magnetic fields are built up by our impulse system. The impulse drive powers the onboard electricity. That means an electromagnetic field. I guess the bacteria must be... That's it! The magnetic field kills them, or repels them.
If the robot knows that, it could bring the ship back home. All it would need are the bridge and the main drive system.
Of course it knows the situation. What possible reason could it have to blow off the cargo blocks, except to lighten the ship for the trip home? Do you understand what I'm talking about? I'm saying that even if all 13 members of the crew were to die somewhere out in deep space, nobody gives a damn. The only thing the corporation cares about is getting its precious data, without paying us if possible.
Does any of that really matter if there's nothing we can do about it? Our only choice is to die or be killed.
Or living! Remember what Detective Barry said. We may die any minute, but right now, damn it, we are alive. Listen to me. Every moment you're alive, you have a duty to survive any way you can.
But we can't, it's impossible.
You've got a big, brand new planet right below you. With any luck, you could survive there forever.
That's ridiculous. We haven't got any more probe ships.
Wrong. I still have my lucky charm, kid. Come on, follow me.
You brought a shuttle.
I had it my first trip, and ever since then, I've brought this little baby with me every mission I ever made. Walt, he laughed at me all the time, but I just couldn't trash it. Our memories are powerful, and that little machine recalls every experience I ever had.
You can't... What are you doing?
It's a pity I couldn't have been a little better skipper, after all.
Captain, it's...
Be alive! Do everything you can to be alive! Registration number 23703 Lilycat. You're not going to bring this plague ship back except over my dead body. appears it's going to be a little quicker than we thought.
I'm so sad about this. All of us should have been able to land on the planet, you know? Is anything wrong? What are you thinking about, Hero?
I was wondering about butterflies and if they ever regretted that, if they ever even thought of their past as caterpillars. And if the caterpillar ever thinks of its future up there as that exquisite creature in the air. We'll be metamorphosing somewhere onto another level someday. Some other kind or frequency of existence, if that's our promised end. We'll have to live out whatever our destiny is. And nobody can know what the future will bring in this world or even the next one.